What are you gonna do? What is going on, everyone? I'm not sure how many people will be here with us today. I know we're an hour earlier than we've been because I had something else that was already scheduled, and that ended up actually getting canceled last minute. So we could have done it, but then it would have. You know what? We're here, and I'm glad you're here. Welcome to Wave Camp. It's day 3. Only one more to go. My nose is really red. That's not important. So today we're going to be covering quite a bit of stuff, and the show may come across as like, well, Chad's not prepared, but I thought about it, and some of the things that we're going to be doing today, I felt like it was probably better for me to just do it as we do it than to have it all prepared and set up and make it look like, oh, look how smooth it went, so that you can see how it really happens. So that's what's going on. So welcome. Super glad you're here. I hope by now everyone has your topics prepared for your show. I don't need these. We're not doing any sound. I don't even know why I have them on. Ugh, they're all up in my hoodie. Okay, so we don't need those. I hope you do have your topics ready to go. If you do, you know what? Share those with me. Let me know in the comments what your show or your episode is going to be about. And of course, yesterday everyone was supposed to do a thumbnail and schedule your live stream. Were you able to do that? Let me know. Did you have any issues? Let us know so that me or someone from the team can try to help you out as best we can. Today we're going to be diving into a lot of things, and answering some questions we've had in the past. We may go long. I'm going to try to make it as fast and painless as possible, but I also don't want to rush. I want to make sure that we cover everything. So, because it's bad enough when things just go wrong, right, during the stream, and we all know they do. So here we go. So what we're going to cover today, I'm looking at my handy dandy notes here, is how to write a plan for your show, how to create scenes in Wave, how to use multiple cameras, and also how to do like a screen share of a studio without getting that infinity mirror effect, and how to record a live for like a rehearsal, or how to just record. So, okay, all right. So here we go. Are we all still here? It's quiet in the comments. It's very quiet in the comments. Say hello. Let me know what's up. All right, so up first, of course, we want to make sure that we remind you of why we're doing this, and that is, of course, because we want to make sure that everyone feels supported on your streaming and video journey. We want to help you become familiar with basic Wave video features and help you create your live show. And everyone who does participate this time, we are going to make sure that you get a set of our brand new Wave Camp official stickers. I really like these. I've mentioned it before. They're bright. They just kind of, I don't know. I just like the way they pop and stand out. So you'll be getting those. As far as the rest of the rules, how to participate, we've let you know you want to complete your daily tasks. Use the hashtag WaveCamp. We'll reply with a wave emoji. I've noticed there's a lot of people who seems you're putting your assignments and you're posting them, but you're forgetting to use that hashtag. And that helps us because the team searches the hashtag, and that's how they're able to better find your post and your assignment and your homework and whatnot, so that you get credit, because we want you to get credit. Okay. So when we are done today, your main task will be to post a screenshot of your pre-designed scenes. And I will show you what those scenes and things look like here in just a moment. Okay, so first up is planning. Okay, so I put a little list together. Let's do this. Let's switch to this new look. I love this new look, right? This is a great new look that we have here, where I can put this background, and let's see, there we go. And it moves me over. Isn't that cool? I love that. All right. When I'm planning my shows and things I'm doing, I think about the guest or the topic, I make sure that I write down all the talking points that I want to have. And I use a Google Sheet. You can use a Google Doc. I have friends who use Google Docs. But you want to have that available as a reference point. I make sure that I have contact info for anyone who's going to be involved so I can get in touch with them with a click of a button if they're late or something's wrong or there's a tech issue. I also make sure that the time duration of each segment is kind of like listed. So I kind of know, okay, Chad, at this point, make sure that you're wrapping up and moving into the next segment of the conversation, the next topic, the next scene. And I have that outlined line by line on my sheet. You can go as far as, to color code it if you want. Get as creative, whatever works for you. Use stickers, use images, okay? Then I also have a loose script of the talking points. I don't have it word for word, but just things that I want to make sure that I hit. Links to any documents that I might need. For example, we're doing the Wave Camp right now, and there's a Google Doc that the team put together that has the talking points and things that we're supposed to hit for the camp. So I make sure that I have access to that quickly. I make sure that I also have on there the guest link so that I can grab it fast as well. So any links, any videos, anything that I might need, I have on my plan. I also put in transitions. So perhaps when I go from this segment to this segment, I want to make sure that this is the video that plays first. Or I have some kind of animation that's supposed to happen, or a sound effect, okay? So I have those all listed. Here's the scene, here's what's going to happen, here's what we're talking about, any other media, visuals, overlays, things like that. Captions, where they're going to be placed, how they're timed, when they should come up. Also, scenes and multi-camera looks. So I may have a segment where I'm talking, but at some point, if I'm using a multi-camera, maybe I want to have the effect of that I went, oh, and now I'm talking here, right? That's a different angle. You've seen it like on the talk shows, right? The guy's like suddenly, and now we're going to talk to, but it's just a camera, but it's movement. And so you try to plan some of these movements and things. And why? Because it disrupts the show a little bit and brings people's attention back in. That's why we do all the moving pieces and components, even if it's just by hands. Go ahead, because it brings you back in. So note those down. And then I mentioned sound effect and audio plans. Does anybody have any questions, or do you have any tips or things that you use when you are planning out your show? I'd love to hear them. Okay. Another thing that wouldn't be a bad idea is to have some type of a tech checklist in your show plan, kind of a pre-show thing that allows you to make sure you hit everything. Looking off in a different direction is unsettling. So if I did this, I would have a camera, right? So I'd still be looking at you in the camera, right? I don't want it to be like, where is he looking? What's going on, right? So I'd switch cameras, but there'd be some movement. And so I don't want it to be unsettling in a way that you're like, this is creepy. But it is just so that there's movement and things look different. Okay. So no questions. Everybody's good on planning, right? Have the goals, know what you want to do, have those talking points. Scenes actually helps. Does that work best when editing? Are you talking about the moving? It just depends on what you want the finished product to look like. If you're going to do editing, then you need to plan that in as well, right? So right now I'm talking more from a live show standpoint. If you're talking about a recorded video, then obviously you want to have it scripted out more. You want to know where your cuts are going to be, what camera angles you're going to want to use. Different camera angles or zooming in, zooming out is huge. Nobody wants to, just like what we're doing right now, we've been on the same scene and I don't have any movement. I don't have anything going on in it. And so it can get boring and we can lose people really quickly. Typically, I wouldn't like to stay in this like this that long. Like if I had a guest, I'd switch to their single camera, then I'd come back to both. Okay. So yeah, you want to think that through. For example, if I'm out shooting video, I shoot in 4K and then I edit in HD so that I can do zoom in and out and not lose quality. But that's a whole different discussion for another day. I'm not going to go down that little rabbit hole there. But yeah, so just think about those things. What different looks can I have? Anybody else have any kind of questions or anything there? I'm not sure what this message is on my other computer. Hold on. Okay. I'm not sure what just happened here. No, we don't want to do that right now. Hopefully I didn't just screw up my helpful little screen there. Sorry. Okay. Wonderful stuff. Isn't it great when your computer's like, hey, I'm going to update right now in the middle of your show? All right, moving on. It doesn't look like anybody has any questions. You guys are pretty clear. If you have questions later that you think of, let me know. I'm here to help. All right. So creating scenes in Wave. So what we're going to do is that we're going to do a little screen share. So let's do this. I'm going to hit my share button, share my screen, and we're going to share screen number 3. We're just going to go ahead and share the whole screen. I guess that'll make it easier. Okay. So, scenes. First of all, let me kind of give you an idea of what's going on here. When you want to share a studio and show people what's going on in a studio, you've got to open a separate studio. So the best way for me to do this probably maybe like this. Let's see here. Hold on just a second here, guys. Let's do this little look here. Okay. I'm going to try to slide out of the way here a little bit. All right. So if you look here, this is the studio. This is the broadcast. This is what we're doing right now. Okay. Make sure I don't lose your chats. I'm going to put this over here. Yeah, we are on YouTube as well, the Wave.video channel. Okay, so on my screen here, I've got my studio. Over here is another monitor, and I'm going to use that to screen share a studio. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my streams and recordings over here, and for kicks and giggles, I'm going to just go into these past ones and duplicate this. Okay. I'm going to enter the studio. Okay. So I'm in a completely different studio than the one I'm streaming in here. Does that make sense? All right. So if I go to my streams, Wave Camp Day 2 is the one that I'm in right now, showing you guys. That's the one that's in progress over here. Let me know if you're following me, okay? Because this is how you avoid that mirror effect. If I were just to do a share screen and share this screen into this screen, it's going to go over and over and over and over and over. So I'm sharing this screen, and it's a completely separate recording. Yes, I have 2 different instances of Wave opening. I'm using Chrome on both. It's the same browser. I'm not using a different browser. Okay? I don't have to use a different browser. Chrome lets me do that. Okay. So, scenes. In the studio, and I'm going to go ahead and hide this camera here, and we'll go back to this look. Okay. So, right here, right? You'll see this Show Scenes tab. I think now they have it set up to where it opens by default, or it opens if that's the way you last used it. but this is what comes up. So I can delete these. So we'll do a little bit from scratch here, okay? So when you first open up the studio, there's just one scene, okay? There's just the one scene. Yeah, Melody, you can do it in the same browser, at least in Chrome. I haven't tried it in another browser, and I know my hat's off now, and now I've just got wild hair. Enjoy. Here we go. Cam counselor, back on. Okay. I can edit the scene, but I only have one. So I can go to the plus button right here. Okay. Let's move my little pointer bubble here, guy. Okay, so there's a plus button. I can add a scene, or I can use the one next to it, and it'll copy the one that I'm currently on. But I'm going to just go ahead and add a new one. But I'll add a couple. So let's say that I want this scene to be my countdown. Well, I can edit the title. And so what I usually do, I still keep them numbered. Like I'll do 2 and then do like countdown and intro. Or for me, it's countdown, and on my show, I do a story. Now, I can hover over this. I can switch to the scene. But if I switch to it and I'm already live, that's going to be the live scene. If I click edit scene instead of switch, I can edit this scene. It'll come up big there in the middle. But if you look right here, this one still has a red box around it. The red box one is the live scene. So if I was recording or if I was already live, that's what everybody else would see. They won't see me doing my edits. Okay? Questions so far? We still good? So you can edit a scene without it being live. Now, you build the scene in layers. For example, if I want a video to play when I switch to this scene, I want to build first what I want to have showing when the video ends. So, for example, I want me. Maybe it's my, let's see, we'll just do it this way. It's my story one. So I click my overlay that I'm going to want, okay? And now I can also, if I want to, I can move my camera, resize it, have it shaped the way I want it, you know, me where I want to go. Now I've got that part set up. But when I switch to that scene, I first want my countdown. I'm not going to do the countdown because that's so long. Okay? I'm just going to switch it to the this or that. So I click that. Now you see that right there? Oops, over here. The video will play once I switch to the scene because I'm in edit mode. I'm not in red box switch to that scene yet. Okay? Everybody still with me? Now, I'm going to call this one this or that because we like to play that. And I'm going to go to my edit scene, and I'm going to find, because I have a this or that background right here. That's my background. I want to make sure I'm on it. I use the round circles for this scene. Typically, I have a guest in here with me, right? And it starts off with the title, this or that. Now, this right here is an overlay. See overlays? And I make these overlays for this or that. So this or that. Question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4, question 5. Are you guys following where I'm at here? Right? It's right here, right? On my this or that stuff. Okay, everybody's awfully quiet. So just drop me a comment, guys, and let me know that you're still with me, that you're following, that this is making sense. I'm not confusing anyone. Okay, so I'm in edit mode on this scene. Okay. And again, if I want a video to play, this time actually makes more sense to have the this or that video play before I transition to me. I'll put that video now on top of what I made. Okay, let's see. Melody says, so while you're doing this, we can only see you editing because you have 2 instances open, and the red box is what everyone else sees. The red box is what everyone would see if I was live in that studio. I'm not. I'm live in what you guys are seeing on the big screen. This whole big thing that you see, all of it, is in another studio. Okay? I'm showing you a studio that I'm not live in, that I'm just messing around with. Not sure you're seeing my comments. Oh, let's see. I use different scenes for me, my guest, and both of us. I got you. I'm sorry, man. I'm trying to watch. I've got 3 monitors, technically 4, because I've got my preview one on my other deal here. Okay, over the shoulder. Okay. Okay. So now you're like, okay, well, you've got this blank video looking thing here that isn't playing, and then over here, this is where people get confused sometimes, right? Because right here, I've got that red box right here. That's the one that's live in that studio, but I don't see it here on this big screen. So what I'm going to do is I can hover back over it, and I just click Edit Scene, and it'll bring it back up on the big screen for me so I can see it. All right, so that's my live one now. So now my show's going, and I'm ready to switch scenes. I can just click Switch to Scene 2 here. And if I click that, it's going to start. And remember, I told it to also play the video first, a little transition, and then it'll show what I had built underneath it. I can do it that way, or we have built-in hotkeys. So if you look, if I press the letter S, you see the 1, 2, and 3? I can press S1, 2, 3, whatever scene it is, it'll switch. I can do it with a key. Okay. Just for kicks and giggles here, let me show you these other hotkeys. Right. So if I press the letter V, oops. See the videos? 1, 2, 3, 4. If I press the letter O, my overlays. Now, because they're numbered, you can only do up to 10 hotkeyed. That's something we've got to figure out. I hope we'll figure that out, because obviously I have a lot more scenes and transitions. But we also have B, does your backgrounds. See, they're numbered. E, sound effects. And A does your audio, so like background music. We good? All right, so I'm going to press S2, and you'll see the scene change. S2. It's playing the video. And then it showed what was underneath it. Okay. And as far as I understand, Wave has set it up so that the video kind of does a little fade at the end, so it's not just like this hard cut. No, those hotkeys are standard. Those are built into Wave. What you can do then is you can turn around and you can program the S1, S2, S3 onto like a Stream Deck if you wanted to just use a Stream Deck. But no, those are all built in. And if you go to Settings and click Shortcuts, it shows you what the different ones are. So, okay. Alrighty. So now I can press S3, and it's going to. All right, so if I press S3, it's going to play this scene and switch us over. S3. Okay, that's how you set up your scenes. Now, and you can copy your scenes, you can grab them, you can reorder them, because that always happens. We screw up, we're like, oh shoot, I need that one there. And they're there. Now, what's fun is that when you start a new stream, your scenes aren't there from a previous one. So if you want to use the same scene layout on your next show, you go to My Streams. Okay. Let's see, let me move me so I can do my little pointing here. Okay. And up here, you click Past. And it's going to bring up your past live streams. So if I want to set up my new Live Better show for next week, I just go here and I duplicate it. And then I go through the setup like we showed you yesterday, and I set up my new stream. I change the title and the text and my thumbnail and my date. And then when I go into the studio, all the scenes that I had used previously will be there. Okay, so let's take a moment here. I want to see, does anybody have any questions at all? I'm tempted to take somebody like Melody and send you a link and let you just come in here with me and be like my little student and show you. But I don't know if that would be confusing to everyone. Let me know, guys. Do you think that would be helpful? Would it be helpful if I brought somebody else in and they were just like asking questions on the fly? Because we can do that. Or we can just keep going how we're going. I just want to make sure that you guys are following along. Okay. So, any questions on scenes? Any questions on planning your show? It doesn't look like it. Okay. Multiple cameras. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the screen share up. Okay. So that you guys, because I'll add the new cameras in here. So this menu that's underneath, again, I love that I can do this right here, right? That I can move myself so that I find that very helpful, like to move the bubble and be like, okay, so right here, to draw your attention where we're looking, this little menu bar right here, okay? You'll see it has all of these different options. Add camera is one. So if you have multiple cameras in your computer or your laptop, like it has a front camera and a rear camera, if your computer can handle multiple cameras, because it depends on the graphics cards and different things that you have, then you can actually add up to 6, depending on the plan that you have. So I have 3 other cameras in here. Technically, there would be a 4th. If I wanted to use OBS, I could bring it in as a virtual camera also, and I've done that sometimes because I can do some other crazy weird things and integrate it into Wave, but it's rare because everything that Wave's done, it's freaking awesome. So I'm going to add these other cameras. I'm going to add this cam link one, and a cam link is a capture card. Those of you who haven't used like other cameras to put them into the computer, you usually will need like a capture card unless it's built for streaming. So I've got a camera behind me. I'll turn one of my other cameras around. Probably you can see it there. But I'm going to add that. Okay. And I'm going to make a new scene that's just blank. So there is, oops, I need to switch to it, don't I? Okay. So this is my little wonderful world. This is where I live. Yes, I'm a big Ted Lasso fan. That camera obviously is over my shoulder here. Someone was asking about using a phone as a camera. I use a procedure. It's a platform called NDI that allows you to connect things. I did add something into my wall. I was going back and forth with what I want, and then I found this flag that's a copy of the Believe poster that Ted Lasso puts up in the coach's room, and I freaking love it. So it's my favorite show. I'm sad they're only going to have 3 seasons. Okay, so I'm going to add this new tech NDI video, and that's technically, it's a phone that's right over here behind me over on this side. That one takes a second sometimes. Okay, so that is right here. Okay, I can move this one. You could like see there's the big mess, but there's that other camera sitting over there. Okay, you get to see the big mess that is this wonderful world I'm in. Okay. And I also have just an old webcam, a C920, a Logitech C920. So I could bring that in as well. So I can have multiple cameras. All right. So there's that other look, right? Hey guys. I know where I want to be. ND as in dog. If you go to ND as in dog I.TV, you can download their tools for free. The part that integrates with the phone, I think it's like $14 or something, but it's well worth it. So, okay, back to the side view of this hat is incredibly horrible. So there we go. So we're using 4 different cameras. Now, you'll notice though down here at the bottom, when I hover over these, only the first camera has the audio. Okay. So that means if I only use this camera, there'll be no audio coming through. The reason for that is we don't want the audio coming in from all different places. So what you need to do is on this main camera is turn on what's called director's voice. And if I turn on director's voice, my audio will come through no matter what scene is going on, no matter whether or not I'm in the scene or not. So my audio will come through and I can just use whichever camera I want. Okay? How are we doing, guys? Any questions on multiple cameras? So to give you kind of an idea of what this could look like, right? We were talking about the switching from, I'm going to add a scene and I'm going to put this, this camera, okay? And so it's S5 now, that scene. So it would be like this, right? And you're like, hey guys, I'm on the wrong scene. Hold on, let me go back to this one. There we go. All right. Hey guys, we're doing this, blah, 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 blah. And also later, I'm going to let you know about blah, 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 blah. Ha. So that's what it kind of would look like if I was going back and forth. Okay, but until we do that, right now, let's focus on the topic at hand. Earlier today, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so is there a way to balance audio when having guests on a stream? Okay. Okay, so every guest that shows up down at the bottom will have this audio, this volume here. All you can do is listen. Right now, there's not anything built in that will show you something that shows everyone's audio levels and how they are compared to each other. I know that's important to them, and they're working on that, and also the ability to record separate audio tracks in the recording. So they're working on it. They're close. So all you can do right now is listen. The problem is typically, right, you don't hear yourself. So I will tell you this, your guests are usually pretty good at letting you know if there's something coming through obnoxiously loud on someone, but right now that's not quite there. Yeah, the pattern nip, the switching scenes, it does. It takes some practice. If you have a Stream Deck, which is, let's see, this deal right here, then you can program the buttons in here to do it, right? So I can switch scenes just by pressing a button. But and it's easy to do if you have one of these. You can do it that way, and because this is movable, it can be taken off. I could have it like right here next to me, right? Press the buttons. Karina, blah blah blah. Sounds like my usual speech. I think you're talking about the audio component. Yeah, I can't wait till we have that. That's like the last like missing big piece is just that. So it's coming. Alrighty, what is left? We talked about how to avoid the mirror effect, how to use multiple cameras, create scenes, record live for a rehearsal. So if I wanted to just rehearse and record myself, I would go to here. I would do a new recording. Right? I'm not worried about going live. I just want to do a recording. Right? So I can do that. Or I can just open the studio. Right? This is just demo. If you want to play around, okay, that's not going to let me record, but it will let me play. But if I click new recording, it just goes right into the studio. And I can invite guests into this recording studio, right, with the invite. And when I'm ready, I just hit start recording. And I can record a practice to make sure that I've got my, my scene transition, right, my pattern disruption. I can practice it and see how it looks, and do all those things, record it, go back and look at it. Or if I just want a recording because I'm not going live, I just want to make a recording for a webinar or a YouTube video or repurpose this or that. Or if I want to, like center myself and make sure that I'm in a place where I can then change it to a vertical video and use it for a TikTok or a reel. I can do that, or an Instagram story. I can record all those things in here. And as soon as I hit stop recording, it's going to put it into my Wave editor, right? Into whichever folder I told it to save it. And now I can go in and I can edit it and repurpose it and do whatever. Same with your live stream though too. As soon as your live stream is over, it ends up in whichever folder you put it in so you can record it. So that's how you would do a recording. Okay, let's see. Is there a way to start super chats, Rumble rants to bring up later in a stream? Yeah, so super chats are important. So let's see. Let me do a share. Live studio, Wave, live studio. So yeah, let me close some of these here. Okay, let's see. Is it? Trying to make sure I share the right one here. Okay. I don't want to look like this. I want me to be a little bit bigger now. Okay, there we go. All right, now I'm just messing around with stuff because you can. Okay, so the chat, when you go to the live chat, you'll see that it has starred all, right? And so when I hover over, you see the little stars that pop up in the right corner? I can star these. And then I can go to starred, and they'll be there. Hopefully that answered that question. Did that answer your question there? Phoenix, Electra's Circus. I don't know what I'm supposed to call you. Phoenix. Okay. All right, guys. So that is everything. I know this was a little bit longer. Tomorrow we're just going to talk about overcoming the fear of camera. And we'll do our best to help you with that. So any questions here before we log off of this? I know this was longer. We covered a lot of stuff. I hope it was helpful. We are, of course, completely here to help in any way. Will Wave ever be able to bring all chats in together? I mean, technically, I did right here. I mean, if you really get technical, right? So I could have a scene set up where I resize this, you know, so there's ways to do that and have that pre-set up. So as far as just bringing it in, that's not available yet. I'm sure at some point we'll do it, but it is possible. You know, you can move it so that it looks like, and then as people are, I can scroll through and show you all of them. So, oh, you know what? Maybe you don't know this. Hold on. You can see all the chats, but viewers can't see the questions. I'm not sure what you mean. So here's what, let me show you how this works here. So if I go to my studio, I'm going to bring this back up. I'll hide this. Okay. If you go to live chat, okay, see that little blue pop-out box? If you click that, it brings the chat into a completely separate window that you can put and move wherever you want, and you can share it as a separate screen. You can share it as a separate window. So that's how you would do it. It's also helpful for putting the live chat wherever it is. It's more easy for you or convenient for you to see. So, okay. Whew. Wow, we covered a lot of stuff, didn't we? We covered a lot of stuff today. I can only see questions, comments from same destination. Yeah, the way you may have been doing it, but what I just showed you, you could see exactly what I was sharing from the screen. If you have questions about that later, holler at me. All right. Anything else, guys, before we sign off? And we'll be back tomorrow to wrap things up so you guys can go live this weekend and finish it by Monday. Of course, if you think this was fun, 2 weeks from now, we're going to do a 5-day Wave Camp 2.0. It's an advanced level where we're going to dive into the editor and more craziness, fun stuff. Like, I can't wait. I'm anxious to get with the team to see exactly what we want to cover, but it's going to be fun. All righty. Okay, guys, and thank you as well for that. New things to incorporate for my stream on Sunday. Absolutely. Phoenix, I'm always around. All right. So, you know, you find me on Facebook, hit me on Messenger. I have no problem trying to help you guys out. I want you guys to have the best shows you can. And the best way to do that is here with Wave. So, all right, guys. Yeah, waiting for part 2 as well. Thanks for hanging out. I know it was long, and waiting for the 2.0. Me too, Harry. It's going to be a blast, man, to do. So, all right. I'm here if you need me. Until then, we will be doing the thing, and we will see you tomorrow. All right. Cheers.